Hey, I just got inspired to do this video. I think it's super important. I'm super high right now, so we'll call it the high version. And it's titled, put this down so I don't distract myself. It's titled, If you want to have a utopianistic society, then therefore the only way is to not do capitalism and only do socialism. I got like the idea to do this video, because somebody asked me to do a video on Richard Wolff, and somebody asked me to do a video recently on Bernie Sanders and who are socialists. And then I was watching a video yesterday on the Young Turks, and they're talking about, I can't even remember what the video was, but 75% of the video they weren't even talking about whatever the video was about, because they started talking, this dude Brian brought up this point that for these right-wing capitalists, it's about, like there has to be a pecking order, because because they believe there have to be rich people. And if there have to be rich people, then there have to be poor people. And so that's why they don't want to raise the minimum wage, because the poor people, the minimum wage should only be a stepping stone for the smart people. So there's a difference between smart people and poor people. And if you're smart, you identify what the high-paying jobs are, and then you just get those jobs. And the minimum wage people should stay at the wage they're making now, which is shows a lack of intelligence, because you can't live even a decent life on the minimum wage. So I agreed with that. I think that it's kind of like it's not an economic argument. It's more of a religious argument. It's like a outlook on life argument, philosophical, and capitalism is that philosophy, and socialism is the philosophy of just being fair to everybody. Because we're living in a really turbulent world right now with a lot of changes and stuff, so we have to adapt quickly to all these changes, and people have a history of lagging behind in those changes. And a technological revolution usually takes 100 years after the first invention of it until people actually use it widestream. I read in this book by Andrew Lang. No, I can't remember. But I think we should also recognize that we're not living in a sustainable world with the way we're using up all of our gas and cutting down forests and stuff. So we have to be sustainable, but also with our economy. Even if you don't want to look at it environmentally, there will be a leveling off point where the world won't be changing so much, and we're just making changes, I guess, and philosophical or knowledge, education and stuff. But economically, I think we have a lot more change. For example, I think even in like 100 years, and in some experiential cities, maybe in like 50 years, there will be the cities that have the aeroponic skyscrapers in the center, and then through just beltways, just distribute them to distribution centers that are placed like evenly throughout the population at a regular interval, and people will live healthfully. So this food will be basically the stuff that we grow. We'll go right there, and so much of it'll be automated. It'll be super cheap, so people will have all this extra time on our hands. And so if the whole populace has a whole bunch of extra time on your hands, the whole populace has to have the resources to do the same thing, to be able to travel all over the world. And in order for that to happen, you have to be efficient. and not have ridiculous wealth discrepancy. I think I heard 65 people, the richest 65, own more than half the world's wealth. That reminds you of the Gilded Age, back before Theodore Roosevelt, who broke up the oil businesses and the railroad. And then Franklin broke up, or made, in the face of revolution, made all the rich people pay for the cities, the roads and stuff. Richard Wolff, he does monthly economic updates. He's good. So, and in the future, in a healthy environment, people won't be focused on gaining things. That's not going to be the focus. People are kind of hypnotized into wanting that because of all of the lack in the world, and I think maybe it provides the juxtaposition. But when everybody's got enough, people, instead of worrying about gathering more things, people are going to be focused more on accomplishing stuff for themselves, like traveling around and learning and becoming better people and all the different endeavors. So, and a system like that has to be run by government, run by the people, and not companies. Companies are for rewarding people greatly for being innovators in a world of change. And then when it's like all these people are grasping to see who's the best, like in the beginning with Facebook, and I guess all these other ones, Friendster and other websites, MySpace, and they're all coming up, but then Facebook took over, and everybody used that. And so the system, whoever you make a big company, it becomes successful, and then it turns into a system that gets adopted and run by everybody. And that's where we should try to go as quickly as possible. And so we should, so it's great that we have Bernie Sanders, an actual socialist, who will be our next president. Yay! So, and I think we should ask people, these capitalists, they like to say they're so smart. We should ask them what their vision of the future is, because it might be a very dismal future, and they don't actually have a good vision of the future, and they're wrong, and they're hypnotized by an evil force of I don't know, something we inherited, I guess, from of trying to dominate and gain self-respect by having others respect you more than others, like you need. And I'm thinking that the only way, cynically thinking the only way is by living off the backs of others, And so, but I think that will happen of the future. If our education will be well-rounded enough so that everybody will be expected to explain themselves in all of the different areas, the philosophical, religious, what their knowledge about and opinion about everything is, and as well as the political, economic stuff. So, I hope that I made my voice loud enough. I just realized that my washing machine was going the whole time. Okay, that is such a good video. I'm so happy. 9 minutes. Peace out.